Hi, welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to talk about Gnome and how the workspaces work on Gnome. So I do have some applications open up in some workspaces here. I will open up this application, and so I'll open up this application in this workspace. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, when you have like a panel or a dock, like on KDE, and when you want to go to an application, let's say you open up files in a workspace, but it's not in this current workspace, and you want to just go back to it. It goes back to it. It's on the first workspace. So it goes back to the workspace. It doesn't open up like the application that workspace you're in. Because why bloat your system and waste more resource when you already have it open on one workspace? So why don't you just use the same application that's open? So what I like about Gnome is that it takes all the stuff that are in different workspaces and treats it like one big workspace, but you can group it all up into different workspaces. So it makes it organized. So you have certain apps in each workspace, and then it just unifies, and you can multitask on your dock. This is how Windows work, and this is how Mac OS works. This is how a lot of desktop works. You look at simple desktop like DWM, OpenBox, Flexbox, like to name a few. Even the simple like window managers work the same way. Windows work like this. Now, the way KDE works is that they take the virtual desktop and they make it as it's isolated. Like they take it like it's like one separate. It's like each workspace is a separate desktop session, pretty much. And then when you open up, like when you click on an application, it's not going to go to the one that's already open to another workspace. It's got to open that application in the same workspace. And it can be fine with a lot of applications, but it doesn't work with all applications. Let's say you have Discord on one virtual desktop and you have your Firefox on another virtual desktop. Okay? Let's say you're watching a YouTube video and like, oh, that's a really cool video. I want to show that to my friend on Discord. So you copy and paste the link on Firefox in Workspace 2, and then you want to go back to your Discord on Workspace 1. So to do that, you just click on the Discord icon, and it'll take you back to that workspace, and then you can paste it, and then you can click on your Firefox icon, and that'll take you back to that workspace where Firefox is open. That's what I call very good dynamic multitasking workflow. But KDE does not work like this. Let's say you have Firefox on desktop 2, okay, and you copy and paste a link, and you say, I want to go back to Discord. So you go to the panel where you have Discord already open on desktop 1, and you want to go back. So you go, like, naturally, you're going to go to your panel because that's how we multitask and launch applications on any other operating system that exists over the years. We're just used to that. That's just a standard way of operating GUI system. Okay, so we click back on the desktop. What it does, it doesn't go back to Discord. What it does, it opens up another Discord in that workspace. Why do you want to open two Discords? It's so annoying. Like I try, like I don't like to have everything all in one workspace. Like I don't want to have like my Steam and have my Discord and Firefox all in one workspace. But what's the point of having virtual desktops if you're gonna have everything cluttered up in one workspace just because you can multitask on your panel? Because it isolates it into one workspace. So you go to another workspace, you can only multitask the applications that you have open in that single particular workspace. How Gnome works is that I want to go to this application, to another workspace, 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 and etc., etc., etc. It just works everywhere, okay? And that is my point about why I don't like KDE, because the workflow does not work good. And I know you can probably change it. There's options. I don't know how, because I couldn't find the options. I've been told how to there's options that you can change it the way I'm describing how I want it to be, or just use Gnome and get a system tray extension and there, stay off KDE pretty much. So I'm gonna stay off KDE pretty much. Not that I hate KDE. I don't hate KDE. I want KDE to be good. That's why I'm talking about this. This is why I think that it should be like this as well, like Gnome, out of the box. If you want to change it to like an isolated virtual workspace, then it should be an option where you can set that up. But by default, out of the box, it should be like very dynamic, because when you have things that you want, like, because we live in a modern world where we have social media, and sometimes you just want to show a video or show like a post, like a Linux article or a Reddit article that you see on Reddit, like a post that you like, or like a screenshot from Unix porn, and you want to show your buddy or something, like, and you just you want to have your Firefox in its own workspace. You want it maximized, and you don't want like any other applications in that workspace. You want just Firefox there, and then you want your Discord. Maybe have Steam open on that, like Steam and Discord on one workspace. Like, this is like my gaming sort of like workspace. Okay, like on Tile and Window Managers, we tend to label our workspaces. We call them tabs, and well, that's how I call them in DWM, and also on Awesome. I used to call them tabs, workspace tabs. You make these little icons, and the icon represents what you open, what application you open in these particular workspaces, and then you switch between the workspaces by using key bindings. It's the same idea how Gnome is doing this. It's just that you can do it also with a mouse. You could also do this with key bindings. You could also do this with Tile Window Managers. But the whole idea with Gnome is it's to work with a bunch of like many different workspaces. And I really like this. You go in the overview, you click on the workspace switcher, and you use your scroll wheel to switch between workspaces as well. This is very good. This is something new. This is not something GNOME always had, but they put this since GNOME 45, and it's a really good feature. I love this feature. I do. I think this workspace switcher is amazing. But you could also do this with a keyboard as well. Okay. I just think GNOME works really well. I just wish that GNOME, all it needs is all GNOME really needs to make this a good desktop is to make their panel visible, the dock panel visible, and the dock should have customization and have blur my shell actually a default thing in GNOME, because if you see the blur, like, this looks really nice. Like, don't you want to make GNOME look nice? Developers, the GNOME developers, don't you want to have a really nice looking desktop like this? This looks great, right? And like, let's just look at Dash the Dock. This looks good. Like, the dock looked great. You have your trash bin, right? So when you delete stuff, I have no desktop icon, so I can't get to my trash bin without. And let's say I don't want to open up a file manager. Let's say I don't have it open, and I want to open it up just to empty my recycle or my trash bin or whatever. I just want to empty it. I can empty it from here. It's convenient. Also, having mounted stuff, like, let's say I plug in a thumb drive into my USB, right? It shows like my mounted drives on the dock. I like that. I know Ubuntu has all these features, right? Like, it has exactly what I'm talking about. A system tray, it has the dock, it has the trash bin, it has the mounted disk drives and stuff that shows it on the dock. It has all this feature built in with their GNOME system. I want this to be a default part of GNOME. I think GNOME needs a system tray. Come on, GNOME. Like, you guys need a system tray. Like, I use applications. I use a system tray, and a lot of users uses it. And a lot of people refuse to use Gnome just for that main reasons, because there's no system tray. I mean, we could add it with extension, but don't you think it's kind of stupid when we already had a system tray before in Gnome? Now we have to add extension to put back the feature you guys took out? I think you should just keep the system tray on the system until you guys figure out what you're going to do for the system tray in the future. But at least keep it there. Don't remove it. And yes, we don't have the maximize and minimize button. We don't really need it, but I think that we should have that out of the box by default. I think that it should be an option if you want to take it off. Come on, Gnome. Stop taking features away from us. Give us more features. We want more feature in Gnome. Then you'll have more people coming back to Gnome. I like the workflow. I'm a very patient person. Okay? I like everything about Gnome. I think Gnome works really well. It's solid. It works great on NVIDIA. It works good like with Wayland. It is a good desktop environment. It is stable. It works really well. And I understand you guys want to make your code good. And maybe the system tray that you guys had in the past was probably just cobbled up code. And you took it out because no one's probably not maintaining it. And no one wants to maintain it. So you're just like, oh, we'll just take it out. Because it's just going to hurt the code of Gnome. And probably cause vulnerabilities or probably other things that would cause problems. You took it out to keep your desktop environment stable. And I get it. But we do need a system tray. It's been a long while, Gnome users not have a system tray. We should have a system tray back. I am just kindly asking for a system tray. And I think Gnome will be a great desktop with a system tray and visible dock. Like how I said, like have a dash to dock out of the box, blur my shell, system tray. Yeah, a desktop like this would make a Gnome really good out of the box. Perfect. Maximize, minimize button as well. Everything like this you see here on this screen, this is how Gnome should be default. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Thanks for the watch. Cheers.